Hi guys, it's April and I garden down in southeast Nebraska, zone 5B, and it's my first August garden tour of the year. Now, about the garden right now. We are not used to temperatures that are this high with humidity that is this high, so this is the first time that I've ever had to deal with some of the things that come with those two variables. Things might be looking a little scraggular isn't a word. Things might be looking a little scraggy. Things might be looking a little rougher than normal, but it also might be looking a little wild as well. I just haven't been able to keep up with everything going on in this garden. Between the heat and the rain, I haven't gotten out here as much as I have probably needed to, but it's still producing, which is the exciting part. So I am going to show you all the successes and all the failures that are now in my garden. So right next to where I was standing, I have shown you guys this several times, but this tomato plant, a good chunk of it is starting to die back. And I know that's the life cycle of a tomato plant. It's the stuff, the oldest stuff that starts to die back, show age a little bit more than the rest of it. But like I said, I'm still getting tomatoes off of it, but I need to go in and I need to clean up some of that. So sorry that this isn't like the perfect version of my garden, but this is just reality right now. Because as you can see, I have weeds that I need to come and pull. There's a whole bunch of grass showing up. There's a whole bunch of, I don't even know what those are, that I need to get up. And this massive, not this is my chives, but this stuff is just everywhere. And I need to have a day where it's not extremely wet or extremely hot, that I'm comfortable enough to just make a go at it. But right now I'm also stuck in the middle of trying to preserve everything that is coming off of these tomato plants. As you can see, these ones look similar to the plants I just showed you. There's a lot of dead stuff that I need to come through and I need to prune off. I might get a chance this weekend to do some of that cleaning, but like I said, I've got piles and piles of tomatoes that I want to get processed at the same time because I'm running out of freezer space. Ooh, but this is exciting. Look how huge it is. Oh gosh. Look at that. It has been a good long while since I've gotten a strawberry. So breakfast quickly. Over there you can see my Midnight Roma tomato plant, and you can see how big the ground cherry plant has gotten. I did do a massive harvest off of the Midnight Roma. Actually what I want to process this weekend. I want to make some picante sauce. And I have never seen a ground cherry plant sprawl that much. It's insane. But I'm going to turn around and we're going to look at the squash bed. So this is the squash bed. As you can see, the zucchini, insane. The other ground cherry, insane. We have the cowpeas right here that are really starting to come up. And then how big is that candy roaster? It's huge. This is the strawberry I just harvested. This is the candy roaster. And that is the second candy roaster. The first one is even bigger. I don't even know if I can get a good angle on it. Look at it. I'm actually kind of excited about those two because I know it's kind of like the pink banana. And I got a pink banana at the farmer's market last year that I processed, and it is delicious in risotto. So I'm hoping the candy roaster is the same. You can see right in here, orange pumpkin, baby orange pumpkin. I don't think that bee was happy I was in there. So that's one. There might be another one in here somewhere. Not seeing an obvious second one, but there might be. I don't want to disturb the pollinators too much. And then we have the butternut that is sprawling, and I should have put this trellis the other direction so that the butternut could have gone up it instead of nothing going up it, but that's learning experience, so we know for next year. We have some of these peppers starting to turn. Some of them have a couple sun spots that I can just cut off when I use it. The potted tomatoes are all doing not the greatest, as you can see behind the basil back there, that tomato plant isn't looking good either. But we have these green onions that look beautiful. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to take you to the first of the raised beds on this side. So here is the chickpeas, the garbanzo beans. I've got a few weeds I need to pull, but the calendula have started to die back. I should probably collect some of those seeds. But the butterkin are everywhere. I think there's one in here. I don't know if they're going to let these pepper plants have any kind of life. So they're still tiny. I don't know if I'm going to get anything off of them, but I tried. And that's all you got to do. If you don't try, you don't get anything, right? But the butterkins have flown over into the path. There's even more fruit just sitting in the grass. My husband enjoys mowing around all this stuff. This is why we are thinking about redoing these beds and making some like gravel pathways around them, so that when these plants do end up going over, he doesn't have to worry about trying to mow around them. So yeah. Otherwise, as you can see, we're really getting those peppers coming in. You can see the variegation on that one. I believe that is the candy cane mocha or the mocha swirl. Not sure. But as always, the banana is getting ridiculous, and I need to come through and I need to do a quick harvest off of all of those. I'll probably pickle some of those this weekend, since I finally got the canner out. We have a row of sunflowers, and as you can see, we've got more blooms, which is exciting. Otherwise, still going crazy with the tomato plants. I need to do a trim. Like I said, I am hoping that I can get in here and I can trim this weekend or soon-ish, because my trellises have been breaking and I've had to improvise because I haven't kept up with trimming these. It's my fault. But it's still producing. That's what I love about tomato plants. Even if you neglect them and you don't show it all the proper care requirements, they still give you stuff. The potatoes, I really need to just get in there and pull those out. I think the tomatoes are actually starting to take over this bed. So I think it's time. Most of the good green stuff inside is actually tomatoes. So I need to get the potatoes out. I did do a harvest of onions the other day. These are the candy, but I did the purple onions in the other bed. I got like 136 of them. Just because, like I said, that mess. The onions were right there. They were just being smushed. So I got those out. I got those processed. But I'm guessing these will be next. So far, we've had this room here. But I don't know how long that's going to last. I think it's just because these are slicers rather than the cherries. So this hasn't gone nearly as wild. But at the same time, the Walla Wallas have gotten buried, as you can see right there, because once again, my trellises are struggling to hold all of that together, and it's become this. And it wasn't ever supposed to be. I've just not been keeping up with pruning. But I have to show you the zinnias. They are finally coming into their own. And we've got this beautiful blooms. It's not as many as I was hoping for, but the fact that they sprawl out as much as they do and they start to fill in, I love that. I just think zinnias can be magical. Plus, I just like this little area. When this pond is fully surrounded by zinnias, it's a beautiful picture and I love it. Back to the carrot bed. Pulled out a bunch of carrots the other day to also process those because this butternut, I may have planted too many butternuts this year, has gone wild. And it is actually starting to push down some of those carrots in that bed because there's fruit forming on top of the carrots. And it's just silly. I might have overstuffed everything this year. I just got a little excited about stuff, and this is the result of that. We've also got these hot peppers. I don't know if you can, there we go. There's at least 4 different jalapeno plants in there. I should probably harvest at some point, but I kind of want them to start changing colors first. And then we've got this ahi mango that I'm waiting to turn. And somewhere in the back there, or the front, depending on where you're standing, I've got the habanadas and the jalapenos. But I want to stay on this side because, once again, these are supposed to be my determinate plants. Some of these determinate plants are a little bit insane. I believe this is Your Majesty. We're in the Nebraska wedding. I can't remember if Your Majesty might be in the front and this might be the Nebraska wedding. But it apparently it found something good in the soil, and it is just having its day, its moment. It is the main character right now, along with these zucchini plants. I keep showing you these zucchini plants. That's because they are freaking insane. I'm even getting zucchini off of them again. So They have just gone up and over the bed. You can see where they started, and they've just fallen over, and now they're just a mess of stuff. You can see the blossoms of the runner bean. I think it's a black coat, if I remember correctly. And so I will be looking for beans on that at some point. But the little eggplant really hasn't done a whole lot more. I think these are actually past their prime at this point because they're not glossy anymore. That's okay. We've got the other eggplant. And of course the pepper plant. And then I can show you the beds from this side. Just kind of loop, since I didn't show you the front of the beds. Now the side of the house, or the side of the garden. I don't know what you want to call this. I think this tomato plant has almost succeeded in choking out this butterfly bee. But look at the blossom. Isn't she lovely? I have yet to see an actual tomato on this plant, this tomato bush. But here it is. It's the healthiest looking tomato plant I have. And it's the one I've done nothing to. Now, I'm going to show you the mess of tomato plants along the side. Yeah, these have gone wild. And they've also gone up. They are happy. I've started getting handfuls of cherry tomatoes off of these. And then the pine berries. This whole area is just covered in pine berries. I'm gonna have to start actually like weeding them. We have the celery and the spinach, and then the dead spinach, and then another tomato plant. It's a mess. I know it's a mess. I know I need to do some maintenance. But you know, sometimes life is what it is. But this eggplant over here has got all the eggplants. Need to come through and do yet another harvest. And it's gotten huge, and there's a strawberry back there that I need to grab. Let's see if I can wiggle my way around without falling into all the plants. Oh, it looks like someone was having lunch on it. Yep, a couple ants. This is just going to be a list of things I need to do. I need to get this plant staked up onto this trellis. Otherwise, it's just kind of tumbling down the hill. Then I have my blueberry plants, which for the most part are doing okay. This one I might need to come through and put down some more acidifier. I think that might be what's going on there. And then these potted tomatoes, which those might actually be okay tomatoes, so I might have to come back and harvest those later. Otherwise, here is a quick view of the garden. I don't even know how to wrap up this garden tour. I have a list of things that I need to do, and this is my first free weekend that I might actually be able to do them in. So it might be a back and forth of me inside processing a lot of food so that I don't lose it, like making picante sauce and maybe pickling those banana peppers. And then coming out here and giving everything a very good trim because it's wild. can also see that in the grass we've got some unwanteds starting to take over. So if any of you guys know any good organic ways to take out some of those like broader leaf grasses so that you've got a softer grass, I would love to hear your guys' ideas and thoughts on how to maintain a lawn like that, at the same time making sure that nothing damages any of this. We've been trying to find a balance of keeping our HOA happy with our yard maintenance, especially out front, and then making sure that this is completely organic and there's no harmful chemicals back here so that it doesn't get into our food. But finding that balance and doing all of that kind of maintenance isn't as easy as you would think it would be, because like I said, there's a lot of like broadleaf grasses that are taking over in this yard that we really don't want right now, but I don't know how to manage it. So if you have any ideas, that would be great. Otherwise, if you want to continue to follow me on my gardening journey, feel free to subscribe down below, hit the bell, do all the things to get all of the notifications. I also have a Instagram and Threads account where I do a lot of photo journaling with updates on what I'm harvesting out of this garden right now and what I'm making with that harvest. So feel free to follow me over there as well. My glasses are fogging up. There's just so much humidity, but that wind, I love that wind. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week and that I will see you again next week in another video. I heart you beautiful faces. Bye.